Welcome to the conversation on the TYT network. As you all know, we've got runoff elections coming up in Georgia. And so if things are par for the course, Democrats will run relatively soft ads. So, well, that's where Rebellion PAC comes into play. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna run tougher ads. And now the executive director of Rebellion PAC, Brianna Wu, joins us. And we're about to show you the first ad. So Brianna, are you excited?
I'm super pumped. I'm really happy about this ad. We were talking and just how the Democrats do not go after issues that help working class people hard enough, and talking about the fact that the minimum wage in Georgia is barely $5 an hour. It's a perfect place to go. So let's hit it. Let's tell working people why voting for Ossoff and Warnock is better for them.
All right, so let's show you the ad right now.
Billionaires keep whining about the taxes on their yacht, while the working man keeps on shoveling it. I work hard in Georgia. My family works hard, but we never get anywhere because the minimum wage is barely $5 per hour. Rich people like Kelly Loeffler don't get it. She doesn't know what it's like to work when you're sick, to dread checking the mail because you know there's another pile of bills you can't pay. If she gets into the Senate, it's going to be more of the same. Kickbacks for the rich while they screw the rest of us. That's why I'm voting for Reverend Warnock. He's one of us. Vote for working people. Vote Reverend Warnock on January 5th.
All right, Brianna, so a lot of people might not realize the federal minimum wage is $7.25, but so some states have moved up the minimum wage, but some states haven't, like Georgia. They have the lowest minimum wage of all of the entire country, $5.05. Yeah. Now that doesn't apply because the federal minimum wage gets you to $7.25. But if the federal minimum wage was $15, oh my God, you would literally double the salary of people making minimum wage. So given that states like Florida are passing it by 22-point margins, Arkansas and Missouri, et cetera, are passing it. Doesn't it seem like this would be perhaps even the most logical line of attack against Republicans? They literally want to make sure you get paid less.
Of course, yes, it's the most logical thing in the entire world. And it's the New York Times had a piece today talking about how it's hard not to notice that the Republicans are going after Warnock more than they're going after Ossoff, right? They're going after the black guy. What I love about this particular strategy is it kind of steps away from that argument. It's this is something that helps everyone that's working class, whether you're white or black, more money into your pocket. So it's a perfect thing for the Democrats to run on. Everyone's going to win with it.
Yeah, by the way, this is the first of many ads to drop. And if you want those ads shown in Georgia more, go to helptherebellion.com, helptherebellion.com. And it's so critical that we get those out there because look, Joe Biden lost Florida by 3 points. But the ballot measure to increase the minimum wage won by 22 points. That's a 25-point difference it could have made if he ran on just this one issue. So, and we know Democrats, they're not good at this. So we're trying to help them out. Look, if you got the right policies, for God's sake, let people know. And that's where Rebellion PAC comes into play.
That's exactly right, Cenk. We want to do hard-hitting ads that talk about the working class things that matter to people on the ground, right? And there was a great video that came out this weekend from a woman that's working with the Yang people, the same people that Rebellion PAC is working with in Georgia. She went out, she was canvassing, she was saying how the corruption argument against Loeffler is what really, really got people's attention. So we're gonna run hard-hitting ads on the corruption, talk about just point blank in straightforward terms that real people are going to understand. The Democrats will never run an ad like that. So that's where we come in. That's where we have to step up.
Yeah, look, guys, that one of the points of founding the Rebellion PAC in the first place was the Democrats are never going to talk about corruption because they got their own issues with it within the party, right? But we're not attached to the party at all, and we're not going to help the corrupt Democrats. We're only going to help Democrats that are good on issues. I know because I founded Rebellion PAC, right? And so Warnock and Ossoff are actually really good on money and politics.
Yep.
Shockingly good on those issues. So now you got two Democrats that are good on the issues we care about. Also, you've got the minimum wage and all the other things they could pass if the Democrats actually get control of the Senate. If both of those folks lose, that's it. Your wages are not going up in Georgia. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact. And if the Democratic Party is not good at politics, that's why we started Rebellion PAC, so we can do it better than them. So helptherebellion.com is the right address there. One more thing, you mentioned corruption.
Yep.
And I did not know the story that you said there, but corruption is something people care about, really, huh? Of course, right? Especially with Loeffler, because her husband owns the New York Stock Exchange. Both Perdue and Loeffler clearly did insider trading based on the information they had at the Senate, right? In terms of ethics rules. So talk to us about the upcoming ads and why you think that's something that Democrats should be focusing on more.
Well, it's really obvious. It's like you said, both of these people have profited from coronavirus. We're about to hit 300,000 deaths in the United States. It's unconscionable. And the one thing that people, it doesn't matter if you're on the right or the left, really gets you going is rich people plundering and looting the system for themselves. That gets you really angry. So talking about that in a really honest way, Perdue did it, Loeffler did it, and we're gonna call them to the carpet on that. That's how we win. We have to have that kind of aggressive messaging. And just one more thing, Cenk, I have to say, your listeners and viewers are so smart. And when we said we were getting involved in Georgia, they wrote me. Basically saying, well, can we really trust Warnock and Ossoff to be progressives? And we looked into that, and they have the right policies. They may not use phrases like Medicare for all, but when it comes to universal health care and a living wage for people and taxing billionaires, they're 100% there with this. So I feel very strongly they're the best we're gonna get for Georgia.
Yeah, and so in this particular case too, it's a no-brainer because this definitively decides the Senate. And if the Democrats win the Senate, at least you get the bare minimum, $15 minimum wage, paid family leave. Now, look, we want them to go much, much further, but those are near guarantees. If you don't get the Senate, it's a guarantee that you get nothing, no minimum wage, no paid family leave. McConnell will not agree to a single thing. So it matters nationally, but it also matters in Georgia, again, where they have the lowest minimum wage in the country. And so real quick, I want to let folks know, this is especially for people inside the Beltway, they don't understand this at all. $7.25, which is the minimum wage now, an effective one in Georgia, gets you $15,000 a year if you work all year, full-time job. Just $15,000. You move it to $15 and you get to $31,000. It's not a great salary, but at least you're in the ball game and maybe you got a shot at feeding your family. So everything's on the line here in Georgia, helptherebellion.com. But there's one other thing. Brianna, you now started working with the TYT Army. Well, how's that working out? How can they help Rebellion PAC?
So I want your viewers to know TYT Army, I am stunned. Allison is the woman TYT that leads it, 10 out of 10, great person, wonderful human being. So we are working with TYT Army to basically give anyone that wants to volunteer in Georgia and make a difference in this race, give you a place to go. So you can go right now to georgiarebellion.com. And no matter what you want to do, we will call you back. Rebellion PAC will call you back or contact you and get you plugged in. If you want a text bank, we will help you text bank. If you want a phone bank, we will help you do that. If you want to write letters, we will help you do that. If you want to go canvas with Stacey Abrams' group, Fair Fight, we will hook you in there. So, for us, we are going to run ads, but we're also working on growing this ground game because we need, the right has money, progressives have people. And we want to give people a place to go to be able to make a difference. So that's Georgia Rebellion. If you want to make a difference in this race, help get 2 progressives elected, that's where you go.
And guys, links will always be in the description box later if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. And so easy to click, but in this case, georgiarebellion.com and helptherebellion.com. So when you work with other groups that are trying to also win this election, Rana, and you're in there day to day doing that, how thankful and surprised are they to hear that the cavalry's coming when they hear about folks like TYT Army volunteers coming in to volunteer their time?
They're absolutely thrilled. I have to tell you, Ossoff has been just amazing at reaching out to progressives and getting help there. The thing is, they're desperately looking for people to get involved and help. So, I have a theory about the Democratic Party that we need to get involved to make our voice heard and to fix these flawed, broken systems. The only way we're going to do that is engage. So get out there, volunteer, get some experience working elections, and who knows, maybe you can apply it when you run for office yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had a volunteer on my campaign who then ran for office.
Yeah.
So it definitely happens. Get involved, and this is the perfect time to get involved. And if you can't volunteer your time, then helptherebellion.com. That every dollar helps run more of the ad that you saw and the ones that are coming up that are even harsher against Loeffler and Perdue. All right, Brianna, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.